Okay, I'm back. Oh. I want just to scream while, Oh, I'm not... Oh, they can hear me? Oh, no, the magic is over. It's ruined.
All right, whatever. It doesn't work. Hey, everybody. I'll just do it. I have to announce this on Twitter, but hi, everybody. It's Tyler from Valve News Network. How you guys doing today? Today, I am joined by a very... I can't say very good friend of mine. I just met the guy. I'm joined by a very popular live streamer that I've been a fan of since I was 13, I think. Jerma985. Hello, Mr. Germa. How you doing today?
Hello, I'm doing well.
Thank you very much for taking time out of your day and your busy schedule to speak with us today.
Not so busy lately. Been trying to. I've streamed 3 days a week, so you know I spend most of the time sitting there eating potato chips on the couch. So.
Oh, okay.
I want to call it busy work.
Is there a specific like type of potato chip that you tend to gravitate towards?
Baked Lay's easiest question of the day.
Baked, and why baked?
Because they're the crunchiest.
Are they?
Yeah. You either got Baked Lays or you got Munchos, and Munchos are too salty.
Oh, okay. So you can't handle too much salt in your potato chips.
No.
Okay. That'd be ridiculous.
Yeah, too much salt in your life. You gotta get rid of your sodium.
Oh.
Too much sodium. We have too much salt in our diets, anyways.
Okay. We have too much salt in our diet. Do you have any dietary tips for people?
Yeah, eat more salmon and eat more garlic.
Completely in agreement on you on that.
Well, yeah, you mentioned good friend. I think you just made one.
All right, let's do like a legitimate introduction here. Hey, everybody. This is Letting Off Steam. This is the usually Valve and Video Game podcast hosted by me, Tyler McVicker, on Valve News Network. Usually we have a guest, and today's guest is Jerma985, aka Jeremy. Longtime live streamer, YouTube creator. You might know him from his older Team Fortress 2 videos from a couple of years ago, Germa versus Star. Everybody wants to see that happen. And nowadays, he is, in my opinion, one of the most high-effort production value live streamers on the platform. And if you don't believe me, go check out the Carnival stream, which apparently cost tens of thousands of dollars to create. Jerma985.
Or you could have just said the Spee guy too. I think a lot of people would have known what that was.
Is that what you want to be known as? Like after the career in live streaming is over, do you want to be known as the Spee guy?
I don't think it matters what I want from that. I think that just is what it is.
Okay, you don't get to decide, is what you're saying.
Yeah, I can't decide on that one.
Okay, that's fair. So we're gonna get started just talking a little bit about you, the individual. It seems as if, you know, even though you stream so much, you are incredibly active on the streams that you do. It doesn't seem like you talk much about yourself on a personal level much at all. And I'm sure there are a lot of people that would like to know a little bit more about Jeremy, the individual. So before you started live streaming, what were you doing? What were you attempting to be? What were you trying to be before you landed on what you're doing today?
Essentially, I didn't know. I was one of those people that had a lot of ideas and had a lot of things they wanted to be, but didn't know the avenue how to do them. I wanted to be an actor, I wanted to be a director, I wanted to be a film editor, I wanted to be a writer, but I just had no idea how to do any of those things. I tried to do like production assistant work, I was a wedding videographer, I tried to do as many things in the industry as possible, but nothing really stuck. So I kind of really floated around in my early 20s, into my late 20s, before I really found out that I kind of just fell into the YouTube thing, and I loved making videos. It's even before YouTube, like I loved just acting and performing and look at me, like I loved doing stuff like that. It was like a huge passion of mine. So going back to like my kind of late teens into my early 20s, that's what I cared about. I wanted to be like a performer or an actor. And I sort of accidentally fell into the whole YouTube thing just because I decided to make videos one day.
And you decided to make videos. You opened your first channel in 2011. And you grew fairly quickly because of your connection to people like Stir, and also just the style that you were producing at the time was a bit.
Yeah, I was a big fan of Star. Like Star was really the first channel that I watched, and I remember watching he did a Diablo 2 playthrough like 10 years ago, and I remember going, "Oh, I love Diablo 2. I can fucking do this. I can play Diablo 2 and do this. I'm gonna do it right now." And I started to try to make my first couple of videos. I'm gonna do TF2. He does TF2. I'll do that. And like, watch this. I'm gonna do a little bit better than he does too. What do you think about that? Like everybody does, right? And I think that's part of anytime you watch something or get into like a creative field and you see somebody doing something, you kind of have that thing in the back of your head where you're like, I think I can do that too. I'm going to try to do that too. And hey, maybe I'll be just as good. You want to be as good or better than the things that you inspire you, right? You want to like really, really try to reach over some of the things that inspire you to do things. And that was kind of how it happened with me. Not that I wanted to be like a better like YouTuber than Star, but you see yourself trying to be as good, I guess.
I mean, that's how where I started.
Shibby 2142. I don't know if anyone remembers that name.
Rocket Man, yeah.
Rocket Man, they talk about. Yeah. He was another. There was only like 4 people making TF2 videos back in the day.
Yeah.
And you mentioned people like Star, where a lot of the reasons why I had got into it or anything, and maybe had some cross viewership and stuff, and he gave me a lot of viewers. But the Uber update for TF2 was really where I started to see an uptick in viewers.
Oh, really?
Doing those weapon videos, talking about new items, and anytime a major update, tons of new players were coming in, tons of new people were coming in. So that was a big deal. One of the biggest, most elaborate highs of my entire life are when I was on the front page of the TF2 subreddit. I remember it was like, there's my video. It's like, it's 6 rungs down. Oh, it's not like number 1, it's like number 8. But oh, that's my video. Holy shit. I'm the big deal now. I like freaked out. I was so happy about it. That video got maybe 3,000 or 4,000 views or something over the course of a week or something. I was like, holy shit. I was on cloud 9. But that's where it started. That's kind of like where I got the major uptick in interest and video views and interest. It was all tied back to the kind of that first free-to-play update in TF2, and obviously like watching Star as well.
The Uber update. Damn, that was 2011. That was June 23rd, 2011. That was the big medic update. Yeah. That was a fun time for I was around at that point as well. I remember I don't know, I guess I'd been watching you since you had started Team Fortress 2 videos altogether, because I was just so religiously obsessed with TF2 and any of the content creators that were out there making what you would call TF2bers nowadays.
I think all of us were. I think that was the period of time where Team Fortress 2 was and is, I would say, one of the greatest game ever made. Nobody could get enough of it. It was seriously the most fun I've ever had sitting down at a computer. It's arguably in the top 5 of most just incredible experiences I've ever had.
Wow.
And we all were in that space. All of us felt the exact same way. So that's why I was just like making them. I was making them. I was also watching them too. I was watching TF2 videos as much as I was making them at that exact time. So I think everybody cared. We were all super obsessed with this space. And that's why the community was so huge. There was so many of us that all thought the same way, that all thought the same stuff was cool.
It's nice being able to look back in hindsight on that community and how things were and get very nostalgic for it. There are in the community now quite a few people that seem to be a little unwilling to let it go. And I'm sure you deal with that as much as I do. Would you say nowadays that Team Fortress 2 gameplay is your most requested thing?
No, actually, I would not at all.
Oh, really?
I think maybe the first couple of years of not making a TF2 video every, a couple of weeks or something, but I think like TF2 is sort of the foundation from which my online sort of real online presence really started. But for nowadays, you see a comment maybe once in a while, but that's understandable, because here's another thing about the internet that I think a lot of people don't understand is somebody may have watched like the Spee Nest video 3 days ago for the first time, and then they come into the chat on a Twitch stream or a live stream or a new video, and that's, hey, you're gonna do that Spee video again? Because like literally 3 days ago, that's the first time they'd ever seen it, and like they're not really necessarily aware of the extreme amount of time that may have passed. They just saw the video, and that's the video that they want to see next. Because like, oh, I liked that. You can do that again? So I think the passage of time, especially in like a video on demand format, I think a lot of people don't realize that people come in, they watch a video that you made maybe years ago, and they want to bring up like as if you did it last weekend.
Sure. Okay, definitely. It's funny how you bring up Spee. In my mind, you've always been the pirate spy, but
it's the same voice. Don't matter. They're all the same characters. Oh, the pirate spy. The Spee. Yeah, literally, I've got 4 voices. They're all the same character.
There's the old man. There's that guy. Yeah. What was the other?
You just change the octave a little, and then you make it a new character.
So, you're a little bit older than me, and I very much look up to you as like a person, as a creator, as a professional, or whatever. On a very...
I can't, just not to completely cut you off, but I still can't believe that. That's shocking to hear that. Like anytime I hear somebody say something like that, I'm just like, holy shit! And I kind of sit up a little bit, like my tie on. My tie on's great. I gotta be like a good presence. I gotta be careful. I don't want to be.
Oh, it's okay.
How am I influencing you? Hopefully, it's not for bad.
No, I've been a fan for years, and it's been amazing to watch the transition between YouTuber to Twitch streamer to variety Twitch streamer, and just how you've taken the platform and kind of turned it on its head, how you interject these insane goofs through everything you do. Like, even the real small ones, like, oh, I'm going to build a computer, and I've got this real expensive glass plating. Oh, I broke it. Oh, I killed Santa Claus. All the way over to, like, the tens of thousands of dollars for a friggin' carnival live. Like, I remember I was live streaming when you were streaming the carnival stream, and I had to stop. I'm like, I cannot compete with this. Everybody go watch that. That's magic is happening on Twitch today. It's always make sure that that's one thing I will say is, regardless of what somebody else is doing, your content is important too, and you should always care. Oh, sorry, I just like punched you in the face. You should always care about what you're doing too. And I've heard people say things like that, like, oh wow, I can't believe like you did that, like you spent all that money, you did that carnival. Oh, I could never compete with that. Well, you're not supposed to be. You're supposed to be doing your own thing. You're supposed to do the stuff that you're doing. It's never a competition. It's never supposed to be. We all exist in this same kind of space doing our own thing. And there's so many different people, so many different things that people are trying to do. So some people are trying to do stuff that's funny. Some people do high gameplay. Some people are trying to do, like just hanging out and talking. There is no direct competition. There really isn't. And I try to make that really clear too, is just because I'm like the psycho that spent a bunch of money on a carnival doesn't mean anybody else should need to feel like they have to do that. You have your own strengths, you have your own space, and that's really important to know. Sure. Okay. I mean, like, still, so if I won't look at it as like, oh, I need to compete, but I will definitely look at it like this is hugely inspirational as a creator, the amount of effort that's going into this stuff. Even stuff like the clown, like, I know that was forever ago, but what is this, like a currency thing, has stuck with me for so long, where you just turn on your face cam and you're in full clown makeup for like 20 seconds, and then we just go back to normal like nothing happened. That is so genius to me.
Well, that the currency thing is just air. Please, for the love of God, fill airtime and dead air, because the makeup wasn't done yet. It was being finished, so I had to try to find a way, and my brain just kind of broken records itself anyways all the time without even me realizing it. So that was just, please fill air. I cannot pay attention to anything that's going on besides the makeup being put on my face. So words have to come out of my mouth. It doesn't matter what they are. They just have to come out.
Okay. Yeah, it's just like, it's you, it's Joel, and it's Simple Flips. Are you familiar with Simple Flips?
I am. Very vaguely, but I don't know them personally or anything, but I do know of them and the things they do.
You, Joel, and Eddie, who Simple Flips are like the only streamers that I watch. I find it very difficult to watch a lot of live streamers because I don't have, as a creator, and I'm sure you understand this, a whole lot of extra time to be able to just sit down and watch a live stream. But it's completely different when I see somebody like yourself putting on, you're like putting on a show. And I understand that you're not necessarily changing your personality very much or at all, but I just, as a live streamer myself, I seem to like run out of steam after about 2 hours. And even then I could run out of steam way quicker, letting off steam. But someone like yourself, I could see that you stream for like 7, 8 hours and you're still being yourself. You're still being an entertaining person to watch for that amount of time. I've watched you play friggin' Binding of Isaac for hours. And it's like a very repetitive kind of game. And so obviously it's you that's carrying it along. So I guess I'm asking, as a creator myself, how do you do that?
To be honest, that's what I do in the shower anyways.
What do you mean?
I never shut up. Like, even when, okay, you know when you get put on hold, you call, you're on hold with like customer service or the doctor or something, and it's like, oh, please, buddy, I'm going to transfer you. Please stay on hold for 5 minutes. I just talk like I'm talking to the person on the phone.
Okay.
I'm probably such a fucked up case study for a lot of these companies that they're just like, who's this guy talking to? Why is this person speaking into the phone right now? Like, nobody's even here. Like, the call will be recorded. I probably have I'm probably in 1,000 different folders for like the guy that was weird on the phone that was just talking. But yeah, like I talk in the shower, I talk into the mirror. I just if it's an outlet for me.
Okay.
If I wasn't doing it on stream, I would be doing it in my living room. Like,
Just
I
by
would
yourself.
literally be just by myself. I would just be talking.
Okay.
Even when I'm lying down, I don't talk. All right, let me just put it this way. I don't like talk when I'm like lying down. I'm not like lying down with my eyes closed, with my hands on my head, like sleeping on a pillow, going like, and that's when he opened up the door, and here comes Dick Van Dyke. There he is, yeah, and he tripped over the thing. And no, I mean, I'm not like completely unhinged in that sense, but I just like talking. I like hanging out. This is the stuff that I used to do with my friends, just personal friends of mine. We would just sit around in front of a TV and just talk at it. We would play games. We used to make our fathers in No Mercy in N64, and our fathers would fight CPU, and we would just sit there and talk shit to each other.
Okay.
We would make it would be like a 4-man tornado tag match, and it would be our fathers. It'd be like, oh, whose dad's gonna win today? And we would just be laughing and talking. So it's like
insane.
it's in my entire nature. I can't turn it off. So I might as well, if it's gonna be on, might as well be on the camera doing it, right?
Make money doing it. Turn it into a career. Yeah.
Yeah, and that's bizarre to me too. Like, I still can't believe that is a possibility.
Sure. But I mean, in my opinion, people like you deserve it because they make, like, it's way better than a lot of the people that are on the platform because there's effort put into it. There's extra stuff put into it. There are layers to what you're doing. And I understand that sometimes if you're just going to play a game like, like a Mario game or something real simple, you're just going to be like legit streaming. But a lot of the time, it always seems like you have something up your sleeve. And that's part of the reason why I like watching so much, because I don't know what the hell's going to happen. So
like, what is he going to do?
Exactly.
And that's like funny to me in a way, because I have to stay interested.
Hmm.
And I've talked about this with my stream before too, is if I do not stay interested and engaged, I'm not going to do it. I would leave tomorrow. I would not stream ever again if I couldn't be interested in what I was doing. I can't
Hmm.
pretend. I can't force it. It's something I can't do. I physically can't do it. So if I cannot find ways to make myself interested and engaged and, oh yeah, I want to find a way where me and Chat can like have a thing for an hour, I wouldn't do it.
Okay, so I'm gonna circle back to this, but you brought up specifically playing video games with your friends when you were like a teenager or whatever on N64. I would like to know a little bit more about you and video games and creative stuff while you were growing up. I always find that incredibly interesting. So, according to your Wikipedia page, you were born September. You were born in the '80s.
An 80s baby, yeah.
You're an '80s baby. So, do you remember the first video game you ever played?
Yeah, it was my dad playing it.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I remember it was Super Mario Brothers for the just NES. And we used to have this thing where me and my brother and my sister, we would play it so frequently. We play it all the time. And we were terrible at it. We were not very good at it at all.
Mm-hmm.
So my father we used to bug him so often about like, because he knew how to play really well. We were really little kids, so we weren't really good at it at all. So he would tell us, hey, he didn't want to like keep having to play the game for us. So he would just tell us to get to Koopa with 3 lives, and he would beat the game for us. And he did. And we'd be like, oh, we got to get to Koopa with 3 lives, and Dad's gonna beat it. So, and that was his way to kind of be like, okay, like, like close the door and like kind of leave us alone for a while.
Yeah.
But we would eventually do it, and it would be like a pog moment. I know I'm using Twitch lingo here.
Pog in the
But,
80s, sure.
Yeah, when we got to the last level, we got to that area. It was like, all right, like, Dad, you gotta come beat the game because we can't. His 3 lives. And I think somewhere internally in his mind, whenever that happened, because he knew we weren't very good at it, so
Sure.
if we ever got there, now he's like, oh shit, I gotta beat this game now for these kids. Or I told him I would do it, and I don't have very many memories of him not doing it.
Oh, really?
No, and I don't have very many memories of him doing it either, though.
Oh.
I just remember he did. Like, he just had the controller in his hand, and that's all that mattered, is watching him do it. Oh, watching him play.
Hmm.
And a lot of the future of just video games and why Twitch and YouTube got so popular with gaming is everybody loves that. Everybody loves watching somebody else play a game.
Hmm.
You go back to the times when I told you, but we play N64 with friends. It'd be like, oh, I want to watch you. I want to watch you do that. I'm just gonna sit on the couch. I don't even care. I'm gonna watch you play this whole game. Metal Gear Solid. I used to be invited over friends' houses because they knew that I was going to hang out and watch, and when they got to the spam the circle button during the torture sequence, I would be able to destroy it every time.
Oh.
So it'd be like, all right, man, like, hey, I'm going to play Metal Gear Solid. Hey, you take the controller, though, during the spam part. Yeah, I got you. And it'd be like...
All right.
I would kill it every time.
So, growing up in the 80s and 90s, you mentioned that you have a brother and a sister. I have 2 brothers. I'm the oldest. Where do you sit in that?
I'm the youngest.
You're the youngest. Okay, cool. So you grew up with some older kids around you. You likely just had video games in the house then. Growing up in the 80s and 90s without really the internet, were you like wholeheartedly like into video games, or was it just one of many things that you were finding yourself being attracted to growing up?
I think video games were a big part of it, but also acting too. I really wanted to be an actor. I wanted to be at least something to do in the entertainment industry. I didn't know exactly what that was, but I knew I wanted to be there. I knew that like watching guys like Jim Carrey in The Mask and stuff, and just being like, wow, I want to be that guy. I want to be the guy in The Mask. So acting, video games, and I don't want to say really directing, although I really tried to pivot in my later kind of young life. I really kind of wanted to get into camera work, but I just didn't have the mental capacity for it. So, but yeah, it's acting and video games were really carried me all the way through into my late 20s, and here we are now still, and it's still something I care about.
Yeah. So were you like in theater club? Did you do plays and stuff as a kid?
Yeah, like very early on. No, I didn't. Once high school became into the focal point of my life, I really stopped doing like theater stuff or trying to do like theater club. But when I was really young, yeah, I did plays and stuff in some of the old like middle schools and all that. But once I got into high school, it wasn't anything I didn't really like theater anymore.
Mm.
I started to get more involved into digital media more than actual physical standing on a stage media.
Okay. All right. So I find even myself with a lot of content creators out there that the need to create was always there. YouTube and Twitch just kind of became an outlet for that creativity. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so like in my case, I remember I used to steal my parents' camcorder and like shoot little movies with my brothers outside or in the basement or something. Were you making things growing up?
Yeah, I mean, like what you described, it was, friends and siblings and, like you said, get the camcorder and do like a little play in the living room or do like a little skit outside, and then you watch it back. There's no editing. You just watch the whole thing back, and it sucks, but you just laugh at it like, oh yeah, it was funny when you did that. You do like 8 takes in a row, but all of them are left in. It doesn't even matter.
Yeah.
Yeah, I lived that life too. I had a brother or sister. I had friends in the neighborhood. We used to do just little dumb things when we were in middle school. Yeah,
That's awesome.
I lived that life too.
And then I remember you were telling me before the stream you wanted to get into specifically voice acting.
Right.
At what point did that take over, the voice acting in particular?
Realistically speaking, I probably always wanted to do that, but you know what? With that, I'm not sure if it's like a saying for it, but there's things that you know that you're good at, but you don't necessarily want to do them. You'd rather try to do something that you might not be very good at, but you want to try. And I was always good at doing voices and stuff. I would make my friends laugh. I was doing that for years at like the lunch table. But I was like, yeah, I do that. I don't want to do something else though. I don't want to do that. So, I mean, it really probably into my mid-20s, early 20s is when I really wanted to be more involved with microphone stuff.
Okay.
Late teens into early 20s, I'd say.
And through this whole time, you were still finding yourself attracted to video games?
Yeah, oh yeah. I played them every day.
Oh,
I played
really?
video games every day. I mean, if you talk about like back in the World of Warcraft launch, that was like 2004.
Yep.
I was obsessed with that game. I literally, that's all I did. I played World of Warcraft and Team Fortress 2, like 2004 to 2008. And then like 2008 plus was like TF2. Before 2004 was just anything I could get my hands on, right? Like anything that you could play that was on a console or anything. I didn't get into PC gaming really until it was like TF Classic and the original kind of the Counter-Strike 1.6 was like my first real kind of dip into PC gaming.
Okay.
But I didn't play that. I played PC games, but I mean, when you have a console in front of in your living room, I mean, I wasn't doing it for any career or anything like that. So like, but before like the early 2000s, I wasn't really on the PC except for like Diablo 2.
Okay.
I played Diablo 2 on an old HP computer with like the monitor. I had to like hit it all the time because the thing was just like it had like a little like scan line up top. I didn't know that, like, wait a minute, PC games can be like better than console games. I didn't know that until like somewhere in the early 2000s.
Okay. So a lot of console games in the late 80s through the 90s, late 90s, early 2000s, you started playing what sounds like Blizzard and Valve titles.
Sure,
so
absolutely.
That's awesome. That's awesome. Yeah, I wish I could have been around late 90s PC stuff. I was born 97, so I didn't really get to start doing any of this until like 08, 2007, 2008. So, but that's...
Yeah, that was I would say that was probably my favorite video gaming era, and I know I'm old. I know people are going to say it. I know they are. But that like late 90s into early 2000s, to somewhere into the mid 2000s. I know. Hey, here we go. Here we go. I know. I already see the comments. I can already see them. They were in my head. But Diablo 2 was like nothing can ever compare to it. They made Diablo 3, and they essentially just Diablo 3 was they didn't even have like any original people on the original team. It was just sort of like they had a franchise, and then Diablo 4, I don't even know if that's going to be any good. Even less people that are. It's like it's a never-endingly kind of diluted project, in my opinion.
Yeah.
That started as like Diablo 1, and like you're on the roller coaster, and the roller coaster just goes straight down, and then you end up hitting the brakes at like Diablo 4. It's just a franchise at this point.
Yeah.
It's like opening up a McDonald's down the street. It's just a franchise. That's how I feel about kind of how PC gaming for me has evolved a little bit.
Oh, really? Diluted across the board even now?
I think the problem, like you mentioned, like Blizzard and Valve were the two companies that I like. That's kind of what I mean by that is like Blizzard and Valve were making these insane experiences all the time for a stretch there. And then look, I haven't played Half-Life Alyx. I know it's supposed to be really good, but it feels like those two juggernauts of this space sort of went away. They sort of decided that they were going to be more. After the Activision Blizzard merger, it was really clear that was kind of I don't know if I like that.
Yeah.
And turns out that was probably an accurate thing to say. And then Valve really got more involved in the business side of stuff, with operating Steam, and they were acquiring teams and companies over the years to try to bring it and make some new things. Dota came out. I don't play MOBAs. I don't really care about MOBAs at all.
Me neither.
I played Smite for a little while, but that didn't really stick. But yeah, they became a lot more business oriented and hardware oriented.
Yeah, complete. I mean, I am Valve News Network. I have all the insider information. If you ever want to know about what's going on at Valve, feel free to ask.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I probably know. No, and
Insider
I'm not even
info.
joking. I'm not even joking. But I really do. I know you have VR. I really do recommend Half-Life Alyx if you ever get a chance. That game made me weep like a baby. It's huge return to form for them, and I would.
That's really good to hear, actually, because I haven't heard somebody say something like that in at least the last 5 years.
Yeah. I mean, there's some stuff that you'd probably like to hear that I'd rather say off stream so that I don't get anybody sued, but just know that Half-Life Alyx is the beginning of something quite amazing, at least from Valve's perspective. And again, I would really recommend you play Half-Life Alyx. I don't know if you'd stream it or not. I mean, why not? That's free money, but really, you should really try and play it. Have you been spoiled?
Wait, did you just say free money?
Yeah.
No, I look, I haven't been spoiled at all because I haven't looked into it at all.
Okay. As soon as I say this, people are going to try to do it. So you may want to play it as soon as possible.
Oh, God.
What do you know about Half-Life Alyx?
Okay, here's what I know about Half-Life Alyx.
Yes. Don't look at the chat on this YouTube stream anymore.
They made the Knuckles controllers so you can move your fingers independently.
Yes.
Okay, that's it.
Oh, wait, really? That's all you know?
I said I don't know anything else. Anything.
Okay. Well, it's a prequel. You play as Alex Vance from Half-Life 2. 5-ish years before Half-Life 2 takes place.
Oh, cool.
They recast Alex Vance, which is bullshit. And I'm good friends with Merle Dandridge, the old Alex Vance from Half-Life 2 and all that, and that was a nightmare. Yeah, play it. Like, please play it. It's...
Yeah, VR was going to be one of the things I was doing when I came back.
Sure.
From sort of the medical things that I had
actually,
going on.
Would that hurt you to play VR for long periods of time? I'm sorry for...
No, it's all good. It's something I've been dealing with for years now. So, but yeah, VR was like, oh, okay, I got it. Can I stand for that long? Can I move around that much? And I'm getting close to the point where yes, I'll be able to do that.
Okay, so, that's good. That's good.
Somewhere into probably October is I'm gonna get way back into VR, so that'll be fine.
I'd love to do and I don't know if this is asking too much, but I'd love to be able to play a multiplayer VR game with you sometime on stream. That'd be That'd be fun
Yeah,
as hell.
I did a multiplayer VR. I did multiplayer VR with Star, and it was just a fucking disaster. It's like it's so hard to do.
Yeah, it is.
It's such a mess.
It really is. But I'm a bit of a VR enthusiast, and I have all the connections. So if you ever need help with setting like real cool, I know how to do all the stuff to make it like perfectly work with streams and stuff. So
Yeah, no, I'm gonna get back into VR probably in the next 3 or 4 weeks. That's
hell
it.
yeah. So I'm gonna start taking community questions here in a minute, but I do want to talk about something a bit more personal on my end, just to like, as like a thank you to you.
Sure.
You've talked about in the past weight loss, specifically in your life. I don't remember what it was, but you talked about making smoothies as like a means of getting yourself healthier. In a YouTube video or something. I was living at my parents' house. You inspired me to take care of myself. I was 265 pounds at my heaviest. And it was a combination of people like you talking about struggles in the past with weight and things like that kind of got me on the right track. I've since lost like 40 pounds.
Holy shit, that's really good. That's really fucking good.
I'm like, hugely thankful for people like you, especially you, like being at least a little bit open about stuff like that, because I'm sure a lot of us, especially in the PC gaming community, have, health issues or things like that. And yeah, I just wanted to say thank you for, doing that. I really appreciate that. So
Yeah, but you gotta remember, you gotta take some credit here. That's you watched a video or watched a series of videos, or you decided that you were gonna do that.
yeah, but still, thank you for reminding me that I had fat and that I needed to take care of it. So
Yeah, by all means, yeah. That's you got healthier because of something that I said, but remember, you're the one that decided. You know what? I'm gonna go buy the fucking bananas. You know what I mean? Like
Sure.
I didn't deposit the bananas into your pantry. You know what I mean?
You mentioned salmon and garlic as your favorite health foods.
Yeah.
I eat a lot of salmon. I'm actually personally pescatarian, so I eat a hell a lot of salmon.
Mayo pescatarian?
Yes.
Oh. I know people in this chat are spamming it right now. It's pescatarian.
Do you not eat like meat? You eat fish?
No, I eat a lot of turkey. Poultry and fish are like my main
No red meat.
proteins. No, sometimes, but it messes me all up. It really does.
Okay. All right.
I have digestion issues anyways. On top of
do
these other
you?
medical.
Okay.
Oh yeah.
All right.
I've had diagnosed IBD since I was 24 or
screw
something.
that.
25.
My
So
wife
red
has
meat.
that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's not fun.
Okay. No, it is not.
Dairy,
and I
red
can speak
meat.
to that.
I don't like drink that. I can't drink like milk anymore.
Okay.
Lots of cheese, lots of cream. I don't put cream in my coffee anymore. I just
You
can't.
do mayonnaise though. That's a lot of dairy.
Whoa, hey, hold on a second. Mayo is not dairy. Where'd you
It's
get that
eggs.
from? Who
It's
told you that?
eggs. Yeah, I'm sorry. Excuse me. It's eggs. Sorry.
It's eggs and it's oil. And
Yeah.
all right, I'm not. You know what? I don't want to turn this into a mayo podcast because it will very, very quickly.
Yeah. I hate mayonnaise. I'm sorry.
Okay. All right. It was nice talking to you, though. You get this. It's been fun.
So I'm gonna just start taking some community questions here. By the way, if
Yeah,
you
let's
want to send
go.
your own questions in, feel free. We have an email for that, tylernewsnetwork@gmail.com. I'm just gonna start plowing through these. I do want to apologize beforehand. I will try and skip over the real shit ones, but I'm sure we're gonna get some.
The real shit ones. All right. When I hear that, I think of like a sentence that's so broken up that has a bunch of misspellings that it doesn't even ask a question. It's just like
just stuff that's
cars
like,
are fast with a question mark.
Well, I mean, I guess we can start with that. Germa, cars are fast?
It can be.
Okay. All right, this one is from Joey. Quote, a forward to Germa Thank you for being such a pivotal part of my childhood. Me and my brother tried to be him and Star, consistently repeating their jokes and their back and forth. Such an inspiration and a childhood hero, especially because it wasn't always easy. Thanks for all the laughs from the early days to now. Now for the question. What has been the best time period of your career as our favorite e-clown? Some moments that were just enjoyable or that you see as your best days? What were your favorite videos to edit? Again, thanks for being my childhood hero from your adoring teenage fan, Cooper.
Well, Cooper, thanks for the incredibly nice message. I don't even know what to say half the time people say stuff like that. I can't believe I even have that kind of effect on anybody. So, but for what my favorite videos or favorite time periods, I think there's been a couple of different arcs. You know, there's been the Boston basement arc. There's been the the Vegas arc. I don't think there's one that stands out that's better than the others. Because they all had a very specific thing that was happening. You know, I had the original being in my bedroom and doing TF2 videos, but that was an important time period. That was a period that was really important. Was like the funniest shit in the world in those videos? No. And you could actually probably look back on a lot of those videos that are almost 10 plus years old now and say, oh, okay, he was really starting out here. This is this is really not that funny. And I agree with you. But it was an important period. If you're talking about what's an important period that I look back on, I had to make those videos to get the experience and be more knowledgeable on how to make the future ones. I had to make 100 of those bad videos, so one of those good videos became a reality.
Okay, I guess.
And bad is the wrong word, by the way. I don't want to say the word bad because it's not true.
Okay. A question for me then is, after having created all this stuff for so long, do you have any like specific advice to creators, like just generally?
The real best general advice I can give is make sure you're doing something that you want to do, not because you feel like you need to do it. Always be doing something that you actually want to do. Don't compare yourself to anybody, and do something that you want to do and not feel like you need to do.
Hell yeah. This one is from Chris. Who do you think is the best content creator on Twitch or YouTube today, and why?
Today. Well, Twitch, I would say pretty much anybody in the Vine Sauce crew. I think they do a lot of, like, Vinny and Joel and those guys. They do a lot of interesting shit. They don't just do the normal kind of regular. I mean, they do, but they're always trying to do something interesting, whether it's like the corruption streams or like Joel's downloading like viruses on an emulated PC and stuff. Like that's good shit. That's really funny stuff. It takes a lot of work to do that. But I'd say like Vine Sauce as a whole.
Hell yeah.
And this is another guy named Jerma985. He's pretty good.
Joel, if you're listening, I want to be your friend. Germa, what's it like knowing that Valve named the Scout after you? By the way, I can confirm that they did that.
Wait, what?
Scout's name's Jeremy, and it's because of you.
Wait, that wasn't just a coincidence?
No, it's really. I know for a fact it's because of you. Yeah.
Holy shit! This is the first time I've ever heard that.
So, do you know Nathan Vitterline? He's the voice actor. So back in the day when they were working on the Adult Swim show, which got canceled, and it's so pisses me off because that would have been amazing. It was him and Ashley Birch writing this 12-episode Adult Swim series where they fleshed out stuff a bit more. And someone in the process, it might have been the Valve employee that wrote the original movie script that turned into the show, named it Jeremy because of the Germa versus Star stuff, because of you.
No fucking way. I can't even believe that. I can't believe that's real.
Yeah. You are the Scout, my man. I mean, you're from Boston. You look just like him. Why not?
I mean, you mentioned Nathan, and I think a lot of, I get told that all the time. You know, like, oh, you're the Scout. Well, you're the Scout. But something that's really important is Nathan gave that character all the personality. Nathan brought that character to life. It might be me in this kind of lore retconned kind of canon lore, I guess, is what we're describing.
Sure.
But Nathan actually put that character to life. Nathan did that. That's Nathan's character. The scout is Nathan.
Well, I guess the scout is a baby between you and Nathan now. So.
Yeah, because I remember listening to some of the lines that the scout said, and they made me laugh my ass off, just like everybody else. So I never would want that to be like, oh, that's me. Huh, remember when I said that funny thing in TF2? No, like that's a very talented, funny, comedic voice actor that did that. You know, I am incredibly grateful and humbled into the ground knowing that is apparently supposed to be based on like a young Boston kid, and a young guy grew up there, and oh wow, maybe we're gonna name the character Jeremy, but that's Nathan. That's Nathan's character. That's Nathan's comedy.
All right. Well, just know that the name Jeremy is because you're named Jeremy. So hello, Jeremy.
I cannot fucking believe that. I really can't. That's unbelievable.
Well, there you go.
I can't believe it. Because that was always like a rumor. That was like a rumor, and I was like, you know, that's cool, but it's probably not even. It's probably just a coincidence.
Yeah, well, I've had the opportunity to talk to people on the Team Fortress team at least quite a bit a few years ago, and that was one of the questions I did ask over the years. Yeah, and I've always been saving that until I got the chance to talk to you. So, wow. Yeah,
that's unbelievable. Well, that's cool. I'm gonna call my mother after this.
Okay. Also, shout outs to Nathan. Let's get you on Letting Off Steam one of these days. Love you. All right, this one. Big fan of Germa. Here's my question for him. Does the E-fame ever bother you? Like having so many eyes on you, do you ever feel like it gets to be too much? Are the jokes or memes that people make on you ever genuinely upsetting?
No.
Okay.
There's a really important reason why. I do a lot of separating of my kind of personal life and my public kind of life. And when I'm on stream, we're having fun. I'm messing around. It's like it's Germa, right? And like Germa and Jeremy are pretty close, but I separate the spaces. So it's not like I can take something that happened on stream and bring it into my personal life, or I'm getting too much attention or something, and it's gonna bleed into my personal life. No.
How do you find how do you do that? Because I find myself having a really difficult time properly doing that.
Honestly, I think it's because I think I'm just able to for some reason, I think I'm able just to kind of turn it off when I turn off the stream. I'm able to sort of just be like, all right, I'm gonna go and I'm gonna do my regular life now off stream. I've been able to kind of make it so it's when I'm on stream or when I'm engaging with the community, that's all I care about at that given time. And then when it's off, and I care about my personal life now. People always ask me, dude, why don't you like go on Twitter more? Write on Twitter, be a part. Like, no, dude, I'm off. I'm not doing it. I'm doing something in my personal life. I'm taking care of myself.
Okay.
I'm disconnecting a little.
I find that really hard. I hope that with age it becomes easier for me to disconnect. But yeah, thanks.
I can chime in really quickly. Somebody just said it's because he has no friends.
I mean, I don't know if that's true or not.
Hey, come on, I'm trying to look wicked like professional here.
I don't have any friends either. All my friends are online. There's no one that lives in a near vicinity of me that I could like hang out with. So, you know, I think we're all kind of in that boat, especially right now.
Yeah, we're in very, very interesting times with the pandemic and everything. So, but speaking to just talking to people online, I'm really glad that it exists. I'm really glad that it's possible because in the middle of a pandemic like this, if this didn't exist, it would be so much worse. If you couldn't communicate with anybody, if you weren't able to do FaceTime calls with your family and stuff, even that stuff like that. I'm really happy that it is available. But what was the question? I forget what was it.
You answered it.
I just started rambling.
You answered it. You're good. Germa, what's your favorite dinosaur?
T-Rex. No. That's the easy way. That's easy. Probably Brontosaurus. They're kind of like the giraffe of the dinosaur kingdom, and giraffe's a cool animal.
So the giraffe is your favorite dinosaur.
Yeah, the giraffe is my favorite dinosaur.
Okay. How did you get so good at beatboxing?
Remember how we talked about just never shutting up and doing this kind of stuff in the shower?
Okay.
It was a way I passed time. I did it in class.
You beatbox during lectures?
I was an unbearable student. Like, can I just be clear about that?
Hey, me too. Don't worry about it.
In high school, in like intermediate school, middle school kind of age, I had so many parent-teacher meetings between my parents and my teachers because I just wouldn't stop.
That's crazy. Me too.
It's like, oh, you know, your son's really like nice, but can he stop fucking beatboxing during my lecture? That would be fantastic. Yeah, he took off like both of his shoes and was like using his shoes on his hands, like standing on the desk. Can we like not have him do that anymore, please?
Yeah, I was an unbearable student. I had a speech class in high school where I would try and stretch the assignments as far as they could possibly go to like do the craziest things for a quote unquote speech. Like, yeah. I remember I kicked a teacher's trash can across the room and then started screaming at her as performance art.
Oh my God.
Got an A because it fit the criteria. Yeah.
Holy shit.
Somebody is asking me to read your Wikipedia page and see if it's actually true. And that's
actually true?
Yeah, if the stuff on your Wikipedia page is actually like legitimately true.
Probably. Yeah. All right. I'm gonna step in front here and tell you somebody just edited it like 2 seconds ago and said, "Hey, check out the first line."
I should probably not go to the Germa lore wiki. I should go to the tube wiki. Oh, but this Germa lore wiki, oh, whatever. Were you really a middle school substitute teacher?
Yes.
What was that like?
Exactly how you think it was.
How long did you do that?
A couple of years, maybe.
Really?
The worst part about being a substitute teacher was knowing that the students knew more than you did. That was horrible to know that.
How do you mean? What do you mean by that?
I don't know anything. Like, I don't know shit about math or like science, and kids would come up to the desk and ask me questions about algebra, and I would have no idea what to do. Excuse me, can you show me how to do this? And I'd be like, oh, like sweat would be pouring down my head. I would be desperately trying to pull from 2 or 3 decades long memories of how to do like long division, and I'd be like, you know, your teacher will be in on Tuesday. You can ask her. Let me just put on a British accent for a little while, and they'll start laughing, and they'll forget that they have to ask me questions.
So you were the substitute that tried to make the students laugh?
Yeah.
Okay.
I would at least try to make it. And look, this might be selfish to say, but I was entertaining myself at the same time.
Oh, sure.
Yeah. Like, what did I know how to do? I just knew how to hand out worksheets. But if I handed out worksheets and spoke in like an Australian accent, oh, here we go. No, I'm getting what I'm looking for. I'm getting like an audience.
Okay. So let's read this Wikipedia page. Jeremy Harrington, born September 22nd, 1985, age 34. Known online as Jeremy Albertson. Why different last names? What's with that?
You got it wrong. It's the other way around.
Your real name is Albertson. Albert. How do you pronounce that?
Albertson.
I'm sorry, I have dyslexia. That's kind of hard sometimes.
Albertson.
Albertson.
Albertson family line.
So that's your real last name. Harrington is not your real last name.
Fake last name. Somebody made it up years ago, and I'm just like, what the fuck are you talking about?
Okay, whoever edits the wiki, get on this. Better known as Jerma985, was a YouTube gaming commentator who currently resides in Las Vegas, Nevada. He is first. What?
Sorry, I'm like in like the audience going like, yeah, that's me. I'm just like yelling you like assurances. Yeah, keep going.
He was first known for numerous Team Fortress 2 video commentaries, but has since produced many videos featuring a variety of games and comedy sketches. As of 2016, Germa has pretty much abandoned his original channel, Jerma985. keeping it alive as an archive. Why did you do that? I've never actually heard what caused you to just end the first YouTube channel.
It's a very long story. That's a super long story.
Oh, okay.
But I can squish it as best I can.
All right.
So I had this grand idea that I was going to make a second channel. The second channel was going to be for much lower effort stuff. Right? Because the main channel, the Jerma985 YouTube channel, for the last 6 months of its existence, of me actually actively uploading to it, I was putting potentially weeks into videos. And I didn't want to have a scenario where I put out like higher caliber, higher effort videos, and then like a 3000K bitrate stream highlight that was just me messing around on a live stream. So I decided, I'm like, okay, this is going to be the channel that has the big projects, and then I'll have a second channel for just whatever the hell I want. It could be anything. It could be stream highlights. It could be just me, putting up a 5-second image of my face. Like, I had all these stupid ideas of what the channel could be. And then at the live stream, which could feed the second channel while I worked on stuff on the first channel. And it didn't work out that way because it's impossible to do all that stuff.
Yeah.
I started to really like streaming. It started to become way more interesting to me than making a YouTube video. And I found myself spending way more time streaming, and then it was time for me to start working on a main channel video, and it was just like, I'm not gonna do that. I don't know. I'm like tired. I don't have the mental energy to sit down and put together something that I think would be worth uploading. And then you start getting in your own head. It's like, no, I got to focus on one thing. I don't want to just spread myself out and have like shitty videos go up that I'm not like proud of, but I do it because I have to. And then I stream for like 10 hours I didn't want that to be a reality.
Okay.
So over time, that main channel just started to become this museum that just existed in like an archive.
All right, let's keep
mainly
on
because
trucking.
mainly because I didn't have time for it to work on it anymore.
Sure. He primarily streams on Twitch, though he has a YouTube channel for stream highlights called Second Germa, which is regularly updated. All good, other than they mixed up your name. Germa was born and raised in Boston, Massachusetts. In his older videos, he has a thick Boston accent. He went to college where he majored in... Did you? I don't remember that.
I mean, I think I did.
What happened? Did you like try and lose it, like on purpose?
I don't know. I think that's still there, but friends of mine at the time, and friends that I still talk to, we always used to do this thing where we would just start talking like people that we knew in sort of a satirical way. We would always end sentences like, oh yeah, go to the store and get me a cup of fucking milk when you're at it, dude. Like, we would just add a Boston accent to it, even though we had a Boston accent, but we would just sort of like satirically poking fun at our own accents and over enunciating them or something. It was weird, but we did it all the time. So that's what I did that in my videos, just because that's what I did in my normal life anyways. I would end sentences with like a Boston AH, you know what I mean? Like, oh, car. Hey, come on, bring the car over here. Even though like I didn't have that thick of an accent, I just did it because we used to do that, just friends in a circle.
Huh. Okay. He went to college where he majored in communications and minored in art. You have a degree in communications?
I do.
Me too. I dual majored journalism communications and hated the whole experience.
And how much did you learn on your own, and how much did you learn in school?
I think you know the answer to that. You're asking.
Probably 90-10.
Yeah.
You probably taught yourself how to use the editing software, and then you went to college, and the teacher looked at you and was like, good.
Yeah. I had to take a social media class with like 250,000 YouTube subscribers. The guy passed me because I showed him the subscriber count. This guy was supposed to be like some social media guru. He had like 9,000 Twitter followers, and he was like holding seminars and stuff. I show up with my YouTube channel. He gives me an A and then tries to recruit me, and then I never see him again.
Oh, damn.
Yeah. After this, he had various jobs, such as being a waiter. Is that true?
No. I don't know where people got this from.
Working at a call center.
Wait, hold on.
Yeah.
Who said I was a waiter?
You've never been a waiter?
No, I've never been a waiter before.
Well, okay
Where?
then. It just says waiter.
I'm a waiter?
Well, probably Olive Garden or something. I don't know.
Was I like shit-faced one day and just said, yeah, guys, I used to be a waiter? Where did this come from? I don't know where this came from.
Well, there you go. Not a waiter. And
No.
in fact, it seems like he's upset with the idea. So let's never...
I'm just confused. I just
let's
don't even know
never
where
bring it
comes
up
from.
again. Working at a call center.
Yeah,
Yeah, okay.
that's true.
What were you selling? Do you remember?
I don't even fucking remember, if I'm completely honest with you.
Okay.
I think we were trying to do deals for. It was like a Groupon kind of thing. Not like I didn't work for Groupon, but it was like in that same realm of like we got like these deals. We got coupons. Hey, you want to get half off on staying here? It was dog shit. And by the way, like it's funny that that's on the list because I literally worked at this place for maybe 3 weeks.
Oh.
Like I don't even know why that's on that list. It was like just a dumb job that I was like I did it and I hated
one day. I don't know.
I did it for like 3 weeks.
Filming weddings, which you said.
Yes.
And being a substitute teacher at a middle school, which you also said. So, Are they missing any jobs?
No. That's pretty much all my experience.
Okay, there you go.
Leave waiter on there just in case I ever need to do anything else. I'll just put that on my resume. This Twitch thing doesn't work out, I'll leave that there. I'll just link them to my Wikipedia.
Do you have any crazy stories filming weddings? Like, do you have like one story?
No, people, I've been asked that before. It's like, oh man, you film weddings. You must have seen some crazy shit. No, it was all pretty boring, actually. Just kind of people just dancing. It's the same drunk uncle that has his tie undone that's awkwardly dancing in the same spot all night. And then, like all the old people leave at 10 o'clock. And that's pretty much how every single one goes.
Well, there you go. We know a lot of this stuff, so I'm going to skip ahead a bit. Germa has also had his hand at animation. There are 2 movies Germa has worked on. Movies. The Rat Movie, Mystery of the Mayan Treasure, and the Rat Movie 2, The Movie. Both were made in Microsoft 3D Movie Maker. Okay. A couple questions about those. What are those?
That's 3D Movie Maker. That's... You want to talk about creative outlets that you had when you were a kid or younger?
Yeah, sure.
You touched upon it a little bit before. 3D Movie Maker was that program for me because nothing like it existed. You could just go in there, and it was one of the first programs that I remember, at least in my mind, where you could record voices in the game. And you could make whole stories in the game because there was a recording feature. That alone... was that only having a recording feature is what caused like 100 3D Movie Maker movies when I was a teenager.
100?
When I was at least. I did it all the time. I would sit there for hours and hours and hours and hours every day and just make dumb little skits in 3D Movie Maker.
Well then, do you have any of these old movies still?
Oh God, no. No. These are, okay, sure. Do they still exist? I don't know. Maybe like in the bottom of a landfill somewhere from like a computer I had like 20 years ago.
Sure.
I have no idea.
How long did the Rat movies take you?
Probably maybe a couple of weeks.
Okay.
Maybe a little bit more, maybe a little bit less.
Did you know you were writing bangers?
No. It's funny because I did not know what people were going to say about that, especially the first one.
Yeah.
Because it was just so, I don't think anybody have ever even seen or heard that I even used that program before in the past. I thought it was just going to be a small couple minute long, just diarrhea video that
Sure.
nobody gives a shit about. And it was like, oh, okay, Germa, that was kind of weird, but like, what's the next video? That sucked. It's actually kind of funny because people tell me, hey, you know that like the rats have become their own, like, completely transcended meme that has nothing to do with me now.
Yeah, that's true.
And that's fine. That's fine with me.
Well,
There are people that have like rat T-shirts on and they don't even know where it came from. There's like TikTok videos of people singing the Rats song.
That's pretty much where it's at right now. Yeah, I've seen that.
And they have. That's fine with me. I'd actually prefer if I stayed not involved.
It's the rat song and then the birthday song that I always see. Yeah. I
prefer it that way.
The genius of recording Michael separately. Oh my God.
But you know that's based on reality.
How so?
So do you remember those tapes? You might not be old enough.
Yeah, I do.
Where you would, it would sing. You would go into the store and there'd be a list of these. There'd be a long just cassette tapes with names on them.
Yeah.
You know, like Dave, Kevin, Michael, Steven, Jeremy, and you would pick up the cassette, and it was fucking magic, dude. You would put this thing in, and it would sing a song that would have your name on it.
Wow.
And when you were a little kid, when you were 5, 6, 7 years old, this song is about you. They just said your name. This is a magic act.
Well,
and that's kind of what that was based on. It's based on the fact that I remember those tapes. I remember my cousin screaming because and all in the back of my mind, it was, you know, like that kind of scenario that plays out in that fucking video. Like, hey, like, Michael, it's your birthday. Hey, Michael. And I remember my cousin was screaming, crying because a clown came in while that song was being played. He's like, hey, it's me, the clown. Like, hey, Michael, it's your birthday. And he's just like, get the clown out of here. Just screaming and crying. And
okay. So we're going to do your trivia now.
that's based on reality, man. I think I've told that story.
Lore. Germa's first job was cleaning tables at an event hall when he was 15.
Okay, yeah, okay, that is yes, that's true.
Okay.
But that's not a waiter.
No, it's not. That's a busboy.
I cleaned up tables at like an event hall. I wasn't like walking around Applebee's with taking orders.
Yeah. Okay. Germa has a niece and a nephew.
I do, and that has been increased, by the way.
How many nieces and nephews you got?
5 at this point. It was 2, but better update it.
Oh. There's a new member of your family. Oh, 5?
Yeah, 5. Did I not come through? I thought I said.
There's someone had
lag out a little?
triplets or something?
No, just over the years.
Oh, okay.
It's been, I mean, that I think it was 2013, 2014 was maybe 15 was the first kid that came in. So
and your brother and sister have been having kids for a while.
Yeah, I mean,
cool.
They just had a few.
Do you like your nieces and nephews?
Love them more than anything.
Hell yeah, that's cute. Germa loves Pac-Man and thinks Pac-Man is the best video game character ever.
I do.
Okay. Germa's favorite color is blue or teal.
It's true.
All right. When Germa was in college, he ate an entire sleeve of Oreos and threw up in his mother's bed.
Don't know why that's on there, but that's true. Don't know who needs that information for anything, but sure. It's true.
Germa isn't religious.
Not particularly, no.
Me neither. I was raised religious. Very religious, but no, I'm not. Germa uses a safety razor to shave.
Yeah. Yes.
What is a safety razor?
But that seems like such. I almost wish that. Okay, so that seems like really boring information.
Yeah. Well, we're almost done. So.
You know what I mean? Like,
yeah,
I feel like, oh wow, Germa like one time skydove out of an airplane and had like a parachute and he like flew up. No, Germa uses a safety razor.
You've skydived?
No, I'm saying like, well, I don't have any of that apparently.
Oh, okay. Germa and Star used to live together.
No.
Oh, okay. That's on here.
We started out to live together.
Germa does not know what the omega symbol is.
I do now. Yeah. All right. That's fine. These are very recent updates. I'm becoming aware.
There you go. There's 5 nieces and nephews whom he loves more than anything. And he knows what the omega symbol is now. So there you go.
Incredibly important stuff to know about me, apparently.
That's your Wikipedia page, man.
I don't know the omega symbol, and I use a safety razor.
Yeah.
Well, I think I've lived such I think I've lived such an interesting life. Apparently not.
Okay. How about you give like 1 or 2 pieces of trivia that you think trump those other pieces of trivia to make you sound a little more representative?
Okay. All right. I use a safety razor. That's one thing that's pretty cool.
Yep.
I don't know what that omega symbol is. What else? I've got a I can. Okay, all right. You know the thing with the kids used to do at the lunch table, where they'd smash their hand down on the table and they'd bend their elbow weirdly, like cock it sideways.
Yeah.
I can do that shit, can't I?
You're double jointed in the elbow.
I can go like that, and everyone goes, "Whoa!"
There you go.
There you go. That's better than the safety razor, I think.
Germa has double jointed elbows. You've heard it here first, folks. This is Valve News Network reporting on the scene. All right. I guess.
And I also have 135 IQ. That's probably should be on there too.
Okay. Is that like?
I don't know.
Is that
I don't know why that's
true?
not on. 124.
You just went down 10.
Yeah, I added a little bit just to seem like cool.
Okay. 124 IQ. That's the legitimate number.
Yeah, it's been tested. I think that deserves to be on there. Besides,
how long ago were you tested though? Because it can change in your life.
Twice.
Twice. That doesn't answer
once
the
when I was
question.
Once when I was 15. Once when I was 15. Once again when I was like 22.
22. So you went out of your way to get that done then.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's not a lie. Everyone's saying it's a lie. That's not a lie.
All right. I gotta ask my mom what mine is. I remember she used to tell me it was high. I don't remember what it is. All right. So I guess to like learn a few things, let's do like rapid fire, like easy, like real generic type questions.
I do need to clarify one thing really quickly though.
Okay.
It is definitely at least 20 points lower now. I've definitely dropped a little. I've definitely dropped a few IQ pounds over the last decade or two. That's I bet you know what? I bet you it's like 102.
102.
Yeah, that's what I would say.
So the trivia entry should be Germa claims to have 124, but believes over time it is now 102. You should get it tested on stream.
No, all those are such bullshit. Like, you've got to get it done by a real professional.
No, yeah, get a you got elided. You've done so much. You can get someone to
all
test
those,
your IQ.
all those websites, they're all just data miners. They're just trying to get like your fucking data. They're not trying to give you a real answer.
All right, let's do some like real basic questions then to like fill out the trivia. What's your favorite candy?
That's probably the hardest question today.
Are you serious?
Yeah, it's Reese. It's Reese's, but with
hell
a little
yeah, that's mine too. Hell yeah, salmon and Reese's.
If you put a Charleston Chew in the freezer and you give it to me, I would probably accept that instead of the Reese's.
Oh, I've never had one of those. Are those good?
Put a Charleston Chew in the freezer and then see how you feel.
All right. Favorite restaurant?
Like chain restaurant?
Yeah, favorite like chain. Yeah.
I don't know. Favorite chain restaurant? Favorite like restaurant?
These are supposed to be rapid fire, but they're the hardest questions all day.
Rapid fire. All right. I don't want to say McDonald's because that's stupid.
Yeah.
Okay, is this weird? I don't eat at chain restaurants really.
I mean, that's probably good. Yeah. Okay.
And unless it's fast food. My favorite fast food restaurant is probably McDonald's. It just is.
Okay. Favorite television show?
Currently or ever?
Ever.
Curb Your Enthusiasm is probably up there, number one.
Okay.
Always Sunny in Philadelphia is pretty close as well. I love Dr. House. That was another great one.
Hell yeah.
I'm currently watching The Boys.
That's pretty good.
Which I find to be pretty good.
Have you seen Barry?
I have seen Barry, yes. At least the first full season. It was very good.
I like that one. Do you like Tim and Eric?
I do love Tim and Eric.
Me too.
Dr. Steve Rule is another one that deserves to be up there somewhere.
Yep. Okay. Favorite band?
The Gorillas.
Oh, okay.
You can write only band, because that's really the only band I've had the pleasure of listening to their music recently. Yeah, I don't really listen to music. I'm a weirdo, man.
Okay. Okay, that's fine.
I listen to the same portion of like an anime soundtrack or like a video game soundtrack like 30 times, and then I close YouTube.
Okay. What's your favorite video game soundtrack then?
Oh, damn, this is hard.
Okay,
Favorite
top 5 in no particular order. Just name some
favorite
off.
video game soundtrack. Oh my god. I love Team Fortress's soundtrack. It's like one of the best ones.
Shout outs.
They've had so many good music. There's so many good songs on all the things they've ever come out with.
We might be getting the guy who wrote all the music on Letting Off Steam soon. Shout outs.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh shit. Is it weird for me to say Smash Brothers because of all the awesome remixes that they've made?
I mean, that's kind of just like you love Nintendo music, but I mean, I guess it counts.
I'd say like Nintendo music.
Yeah. Okay. Okay, and then in no particular order, just 5 favorite games.
Oh, Bloodborne.
Okay.
Neverhood.
Diablo Neverhood. 2. Yeah.
Diablo 2, Team Fortress 2, and then 2004 to 2008 World of Warcraft belongs up there. Super Mario RPG and Chrono Trigger.
Oh, you're an SNES kid. Hell yeah.
That's absolutely yes.
People are literally sending emails asking if you know when the next TF2 update's going to be out. Like, come on, guys.
Like I do?
Yeah.
Like I just have this info.
Yeah, it's because you're the scout, so they need to contact you for mocap or something.
I've been sitting on this for the last 8 years.
Oh man, that's the same question. How is the McChicken?
It's the best fast food item. That's what you should be ordering.
The best fast food item?
Yeah, just get a McChicken with a little bit of mayonnaise on it, and done. You're done.
Oh, you and the mayonnaise. That's right. Yeah.
Mayonnaise and poultry. Seriously, it's great. It's the best.
Okay. Do you play games in your free time?
Not as much as I used to, but sometimes yes. And I'm gonna get made fun of for this, but people already know it. I do a lot of stuff on iPad.
Oh, me too. Yeah.
Yes, because it's relaxing to lie in bed with an iPad and just play whatever is some of the junk that's on the iOS store or some of the interesting stuff that they poured over.
What have you been playing lately on the iPad?
Like they've recently ported over stuff like Hearthstone, you know.
Oh,
like,
yeah.
A year or two ago. I play just shitty, terrible, low IQ ranked Hearthstone. I don't understand half the things I'm doing, but it's okay because nobody's watching me. Nobody can make fun of me. I can just lose and be like, okay, let's do the next one.
Have you tried any of those Nintendo games?
Oh, there are like 3,000 or 4,000 of them. Which one?
No, on the iPad, on iOS.
Like, ever played a Nintendo game? You ever played any
like
of those
Super
Nintendo
Mario
games?
Run, Fire Emblem Heroes, Animal Crossing?
I hated them.
Really?
The iOS Mario Kart was bullshit. They gaslit me into thinking I was playing against other players.
Yeah, that's true.
So I immediately deleted it.
Okay. Are you I know that it's probably not so much anymore. Do you ever like find yourself wanting to play Team Fortress 2 nowadays?
Yeah. I think that's I think back all the time of just random moments that I had playing that game that I wish I could play again.
Oh, sure.
But it would take something really, really significant for me to want to get back into it. And nothing significant enough to catch my attention has happened in at least the last probably 3 or 4 years.
Have you been paying much attention?
I've paid a little bit of attention, but not enough to... Let me just put it this way.
Sure. Nothing
like front page worthy to be like, whoa, that's a bunch... I want to get back into it, you know what I mean?
Okay. Well, Are you aware of like TF2C or Open Fortress or Jabroni Brawl or any of that kind of stuff?
Very, very vaguely. I've heard about the full kind of the It's like a full remake, I guess, of TF Classic that somebody was doing by back in the day too, like a few years ago, a couple of years ago.
Sure, yeah. It's
What
evolved.
Fortress Forever or something, whatever it was called.
Oh, well, Fortress Forever is completely different, but
Oh, okay.
in the last few years, large community teams have been taking up the helm that to fill the void that Valve left. And so you have like old school style mods of Team Fortress 2 that essentially completely redo the game, make new game modes, create new identities to the game itself. And that's probably the most asked question that I'm getting here from the community is if you would be interested in ever trying any of that kind of stuff out.
The answer is probably no.
Mm.
And here's my one reasoning for saying no to something like that is I had such a great time with TF2, and I have such incredible memories of that game for almost a full decade, that for me to come back and play, and I have before, I haven't really told anybody about it, because why talk about it? Like, every game I've ever played, I gotta tell you, everybody about it. I've played TF2 within the last 24 months. I have.
Okay.
It's not like I gave up on it completely, but every time I've gone back, the spark is not there anymore. You know what I mean? It's just not. I can't get into it like I used to anymore.
Sure.
Because I would play and say, oh, this is kind of fun. Yeah, I remember this is fun, but it's just not grabbing me like it did back in like 2010, 2008,
Sure.
2012.
Sure. That makes sense.
So unfortunately, it's not something that I can see getting into again.
Well, there
I
you go.
peek out the blinds, I see like, oh, what's going on? Let me look what's going on at like the TF2 neighborhood. I pay attention sometimes, and obviously it was a huge part of my life, so.
Everybody's yelling at me for advertising to you, but I didn't even mention my thing. Screw off, guys.
Oh, she's shilling to
No,
you.
I have my own thing that I didn't mention because I knew if I mentioned it, people would be like, oh, okay, this is what we're doing. Bye.
All right, well, hey, so let me ask you, what's that thing? I'm asking you now.
It's called creators.tf. It's community servers. Like, it's really cool. We do custom weapons and events, and yeah, it's it's no big deal. What's your opinion on some of the creations transcending your videos and streams into becoming real memes? Not necessarily just the rats, but all together.
I think it's great. I think if somebody can take something that I've said or done, or something that was on the channel, and they can make their own little fun thing over it, and it gives them their own outlet to be creative and to have fun and to explore their own, shit that they want to do. That's awesome. That was a huge amount of the reason to do like the green screen stuff in the first place.
Oh, sure.
It's just, hey, just take it, do whatever the fuck you want with it, as long as you don't do anything horrible with it, right?
Yeah.
So yeah, that makes me happy.
The green screen stuff in particular, I remember hearing something. Did you did all of your health problems really come from the breakdancing?
No.
Oh, okay.
That would have been actually kind of funny if it was, though. No, years ago, I started to get this weird back and chest pain, and I'm still trying to figure out what the hell's wrong with me. So it's been an ongoing issue. I just made it way worse by ignoring it enough to do that green screen stream and just being like, I'll be fine. And then the next day and 3 or 4 days later, it was really clear that I had to really figure out what the hell was going on.
That's kind of scary. Well, I mean, you told me that they've pretty much ruled out all the like bad stuff it could be, right?
Yeah, it's getting really close to being narrowed down completely.
Okay. Well, I hope you're all right.
Appreciate it.
Over the years, you've been remarkably interactive. You've developed a remarkably interactive relationship with your viewers, but it's also no secret that your chat has a bit of fondness for somewhat rude and demeaning jokes at your expense. I do genuinely believe that practically everything is said with good intentions, but even then, does it ever bother you when the chat starts to rag on you on things related to your personal life?
No, because I'd rather that happen than it be somebody else.
Oh, wow.
I'd rather us have a fun community around just if somebody wants to talk about me or make a joke about me, I'd rather they do that than talk shit about somebody else or make fun of somebody or make fun of a certain group of people. I would rather be...
Sure. Okay.
I'd rather be the focal point of somebody's like jokey criticism, because we're all in on the joke and it's more fun that way.
Okay. That's
So
great.
yeah, I'd say I'd rather it be me than at the expense of somebody else.
That's like the best response to that question I could possibly imagine. What's the funniest thing the chat has ever done?
Oh man, there's too many. There's way too many.
Just first thing comes to mind.
The Dreamcast sucks. Laughing my ass off. That's like one of my favorite comments ever. Uh, it's just so. Anytime the chat collectively will be able to jump on board and do the same thing at the same time, I find remarkable. People trying to convince me that a picture that was doctored was my real face, and I believed them. That's so funny. Like it's hysterical. Stuff like that. They just kind of one guy moments are so much more fun to me than half the stuff that I even do on the stream.
Oh. Well, that's crazy. How long does it take to set up Germa rumbles? And were there ever any ideas or characters that got left on the cutting room floor?
Not necessarily characters that got left on the cutting room floor, but there's definitely been a handful of events that I wanted to do that I just said, nah, that's kind of, I think that would be boring. Not necessarily characters, but extra matches.
Oh, okay.
But, I mean, Rumble takes, one character takes about 40 minutes to an hour to make the way that I want it, because I'm a meticulous weirdo. So like 30 minutes to like 45 plus minutes per character, and if there's 20 to 30 characters in a Rumble, you just do the math on how long it takes to make the characters, and then to put the event together, it takes about maybe a couple of weeks. Maybe a week or two.
Okay. Were there ever any, I guess as a more general question, were there ever any bits that you had to be like, oh, no, can't do that, didn't work out? Just generally for any of your live streams that you can remember.
I mean, a lot of ideas get dropped on the floor just because they just either won't work or they're maybe too weird. One that speaks out to mind is very recently. I have a business manager that I bounce ideas off of, and then he goes and he tries to figure out if he can do them. Like, oh yeah, can you do this? Can you reach out to people that might be able to do this? Yeah. And he produces, he hits people up, and we go back and forth. And one of the things I told him one time was, hey, I want to do a stream where I run a daycare and we have a bunch of those health class babies that are behind me, and I have to like feed them and like take care of them. But we got pretty close to starting to do that, but then it got to a point where he's like, yeah, we probably shouldn't do this. Like, I wanted to like feed the babies behind me and have it be like a daycare. I wanted to like defend them from alien attacks and shit. But it got to a point where I didn't want to like cross any lines that you could cross.
What lines would you cross? They're baby dolls.
I know, but like having like a bear attack, and I like have to defend the babies from the bear. If like that might not be that might not be a good idea.
All right. Man, I can't wait to be successful to have a business manager. My goodness, that sounds awesome. I don't even have I do my own taxes.
Well, that's also that was since the carnival.
Oh, that wasn't that long ago.
Yeah. So since the carnival, it really became clear that I want someone to like help me do a lot of this stuff, at least the business side of stuff.
Okay. Oh man. I'm sorry. Oh, a lot of these.
And look, there are other ideas that I just maybe come up with, and then I bounce them off of somebody, and they say that's stupid, and I go, yeah, I know.
That's the point.
But anyways, you got time in October? One of the things I think that I've talked about this before, but it has to be brought up again, is the family dinner stream.
Oh yeah.
That was I wanted to do another one. There was going to be, okay, here we are at the family dinner. There was going to be like another family dinner bit.
Okay.
But that was a really polarizing stream. People like were really uncomfortable.
Yeah.
I got comments saying like, hey man, like that was like fucked up. I didn't think that was very funny. I thought that was just kind of awkward and strange, and it made me feel awful. And I was like, oh, well.
That was the point, though. That was the point. That felt like kind of like a cringe comedy Tim and Eric kind of thing. All right.
I met those people 30 minutes before the stream started, by the way. I've said that recently. People know that by now, but just for you, if you did not know that, that was real.
Wow. Okay. What advice would you give to a younger Jeremy? A Jeremy that's just starting to feel like an adult?
Oh. You know what? I probably would just. How much time do I have?
That's
Like
up to you, dude.
Like, do I jump through a portal and I have 10 seconds before I disintegrate, or is it like I have like an hour to sit down and go to dinner?
I think it could be just as much as you want. Yeah.
Okay. So I would probably, if it was like I could go to dinner and sit down with myself, I would probably just go over like, keep doing what you're doing, keep doing what you like to do, and keep doing the things that you know in your heart will work out if you do them. Because there was a lot of second guessing early on, where maybe no, I don't think everyone's gonna think this is fucking shitty. No one's gonna like this. I deleted the first like 3 or 4 videos I made on YouTube.
Okay.
I made them and I deleted them, and I think I would have just kind of sat down and been like, just do what you know you like to do. And then I would flash the gold ring and be like, see, like this is what I'm talking about. Like keep doing it. And then younger me would probably be like, no, fuck that guy. That guy sucks. I'm going to do something else. I would ruin the whole thing. I don't think I'd want to go back.
Well, that's a good point. Wow. All right. Well, winding up here, because I know that you've got something in like 20 minutes. Germa, you used to be working on a Choose Your Own Adventure book. Are you still working on it?
No.
No.
I had not at all. That sort of evolved into a project that we talked about Star earlier. Star is making a Choose Your Own Adventure game board.
Okay.
So he's making like a D&D inspired game board that's based sort of on the sorcery and Choose Your Own Adventure model. And he's making the whole thing. I gave him an outline of stuff, of things that I would like to see, and he's going to just go absolutely nuts. And that's going to be on stream probably in the next few months.
That sounds odd. Are you going to be a part of that? Because it sounds like a group activity.
Yeah, I'm going to... It's essentially, I wanted to be blind for it, so I could have genuine reactions to some of the
sure. Yeah.
But yeah, he's going to be running the whole thing. We're going to do a whole stream, maybe even more than a few of them about it, so... That's what I'm really looking forward to recently. And the baseball stream, too, but that got canceled. I paid deposits for that. If anyone knows what I'm talking about, I've talked about it quite a few times, but... I'm making my own baseball league where it's like cartoon baseball, you know, like the clowns versus the magicians, and I'm the umpire. And it was ready to go, but we didn't want to. We saw some COVID numbers spike, and it got.
Yeah.
We just didn't want to take the risk and put potentially 30, 40, 50 people in the same area at the same time. It just wasn't going to happen.
So is that
is still going to
altogether?
happen.
Oh, okay.
Oh, no. That is absolutely still going to happen.
That seems bigger than the carnival stream.
Damn. In a way, it is. And maybe in a personnel way, yes.
Okay.
There'll be more people involved in that one than there were the carnival, for sure.
I mean, if it's a whole league, how long of a stream is that going to be?
I don't know. 1?
What?
It's hard to explain. Okay. Without giving anything really away, it's a... Let's just say that 1 stream would be sufficient, but more than 1 is possible. We'll just say that.
Okay. All right. Well, that's been a really great conversation. I really appreciate you taking the time, hanging out with me for a little bit. It's been great talking to you. So I guess to end it out, so that everybody, you know, just like a nice one more thing kind of question here. Let's think about, you know, Germa over the next 5 years. What do you think Germa will look like in 5 years?
Balder, older, maybe a little saggy around the cheeks, but still doing the same things that I'm doing now. I haven't really changed the way that I look at things, the way that I look at the world, really, the way that I see the channel. I'm just kind of doing it in a different spot. And the next 5 years are gonna be. There's a lot of projects that I want to do. Stuff that I've been really sitting on that I've really wanted to do for the last 5 years. But I'll be honest, only up until pretty recently have I been seeing such insane monetary support on the streams. It's been fucking crazy. But with that monetary involvement from all the people that watch the streams, I'm now able to do some of those things. I'm able to do a lot of those bigger projects that I dreamed of doing 2, 3, 4, 5 years ago.
Hell yeah.
So a lot more of those, and just still trying to stay interested. That's all I can really do.
That's awesome. Well, I mean, it's great talking to you. I'm glad that you're seeing such large monetary support in order to be able to do things like the carnival stream and such. Anyways, this has been Letting Off Steam. Thank you, everybody, for coming out today. Thank you very much, Jeremy, for talking with me today. I really, really appreciate it.
Hell yeah.
And if you're new to the channel, maybe toss a subscribe. We do a lot of Valve news here. And yeah. Anyways, peace and hair grease, everybody. I'll talk to y'all later. This has been Letting Off Steam. Have a good day.
See you later.
Adios.